Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation, and we are changing everything about how people see marriage. Hopefully, you're already a subscriber, become one. Let's get right into this topic, and then we're going to talk a little bit about marriage, more than just this topic, because it's important for you. And we're also going to try to recruit you. If you're a psychologist or clergy, we're trying to get more and more people to become TMF certified marriage counselors. We don't do anything else, just marriage. This topic is, there are 3 ways I want to know how to regain trust in a marriage when it is lost. And what that means is when the trust is lost. So, number 1, be realistic about what will not work. We don't play games at the Marriage Foundation. Everything is above board, it's clear, it's clean. How we save marriages is methodical, using our courses for men, our course for women. And we do have books, and we have a lot of free things like these videos, but in your situation you need a course for men if you're a man, a course for women if you're a woman, because again, you have to be realistic about what will not work. What won't work is like a little tip, a little change that you may think you can make. Starting to smile all the time and being nice all the time and proving yourself. That won't work. It won't work. It won't work because there is this element that you already know about that plays a major role. And that element is the difficulty that people have when it comes to change. We don't easily change. Just think about all of the New Year's resolutions that you broke within a week or two. I know that this is brand new to you because the world doesn't think that way, but the truth of the matter is, you see, you're a soul. Let's start with that. Now, this isn't religious, so don't be afraid. I'm not going to sell you on some religion. It's just the fact. You don't have a soul. You are one. You have a body. You never think of yourself as I'm the body, but one of its attributes is its ability to repeat things. We call them habits. And these habits take over because we, as the soul, don't step in and correct things based on what we know to be right or wrong. So if you're already being perceived as being untrustworthy, and that's what we're talking about, it's not the trust that is lost, it's the trust in you that is lost. Let's be realistic. Then making outer changes will fail the same way the changes you've tried to make in the past have failed. And this is why if you were to take the course for men or for women, and they're different because men and women are different, the very first thing that we work on is learning how to master your mind, so when you do make a change, it sticks, it's permanent. And we've developed our own techniques, our own methodology. Everything is step by step, and it works. And so, number 2, be realistic. Again, realistic. We're very much into being realistic at the Marriage Foundation. So realistically, subscribe to this channel. Be realistic about human nature so you can make effective changes. Understand that we are driven, controlled, manipulated by our habits. But we need to also understand that human nature is primarily based on self-preservation. Now, I could get into it technically, but essentially what's going on is, because you have a body, and the body is comprised of trillions of cells, each one endowed with the drive to survive, all about self-preservation. And that is constantly pinging the mind, your mind. But you don't treat it like your mind. It treats you like its slave. And so that comes down to what we call human nature. Human nature is when we operate based on the principles of self-preservation. And a person will do anything to get out of trouble because of self-preservation. They'll override their own morality. What they know is right or wrong, they'll override it. And so you need to know what you're up against. When you want, because you have to change. You're going to have to change. You can't make little changes here and there. It will not work. But I promise you this. If you change yourself by your own guidance, no one has to tell you what's right or wrong, by your own guidance, but you need to learn the technique of how to institute changes in your mind. And I have a technique called the SO technique. When you learn how, when you incorporate that in, when you make that your driving habit, the SO technique, you will change. You will override human nature. You will become trustworthy. It's within your capacity to do so. I don't care who you are. I mean, unless you are a drug addict, total alcoholic, then it's very difficult, but it still can be done. You need to know how to do it. It's one of the things, I used to be a divorce mediator over 20 years ago. I have seen when alcoholism and drug addiction have destroyed marriages. And I always thought, well, there's no way out. But there is. There is. You can still save the marriage. So learning something that is not commonly known in the world today is what it will take. You have to understand human nature. Number 3, this is it. This is it. This is the driving force that we want you to institute in your marriage that will change everything. Learn to love unconditionally. Wow, where have you ever heard that before? And I know we're not taught this stuff growing up, and that's why there's such a high divorce rate. But there's a way to cultivate love. There's a way to nurture the devotion you have for your wife or your husband. And so these are important tools that you have to take on. Learn to love unconditionally. It's amazing what that will do to change the dynamics within your marriage. It will fulfill you. It will fill your spouse. It will change your world, your life, everything. It's incredible. I wish they were teaching this. One of the missions, future missions of the Marriage Foundation is to get this stuff in schools. But we take a two-pronged approach to healing marriages, to revitalizing them, to turning them into what they weren't, but what they were meant to be. One is learning how to master your mind. This has been a dilemma for philosophers throughout the centuries. And the other is learning the, you might say, the rules of the road of marriage, the marital morality, the way to be married. We're not taught. We're not taught. If you go to our website, themarriagefoundation.org, you will encounter a 10 do's and don'ts for marriage. That's a good way to start. Go there. If you have a question, you can go to our website, and we have an Ask a Counselor page, which will really be beneficial for you. You can ask a TMF certified marriage counselor a question, and they will get back to you with a real answer, not a sales pitch, because we want you to have it all. So I was going to tell you a little bit about marriage, and I'm going to now. I want you to know that you got married in order to be happy. Yes, I know you fell in love. You fell in love with your soulmate. We don't talk about those things in the world because everyone's afraid it's going to become religious. But we are spiritual beings. We're souls. And so religion, I don't care what your religion is. It doesn't make any difference whether you have one or whether you're agnostic, or even if you're an atheist and don't even believe in God. You still are what you are. Some people like to replace the word soul with consciousness. It makes them feel more comfortable. That's fine too. The point is, you're not a material thing. You're a spiritual being, and you have the power, the capacity for something that no other creature has. We have the capacity to love unconditionally. This is so beautiful. We also have something that no other creature has, free will. We can override our habits. We can override our instincts. We can do anything we want. We have volition. We're able to put into action whatever we choose to through our free will. Connect the dots. This is not a difficult thing to do. We have free will. We know what love is. We know what happiness is. We have volition. Who doesn't put all that together in order to remain perpetually happy? Well, just about no one does, because we're not taught. It's such a simple equation. And then you take a look at marriage. What is marriage all about? Marriage is an individual spiritual path. Yes, that's my definition. It's an individual spiritual path that two soulmates take together. Beautiful, isn't it? When that came to me, I was like, wow, that's really cool. Thank you, Lord, for dropping that into my mind. And it's true. And it works. And when you change your perspective about what married life is from, oh, I don't know, to, wow, this is amazing. I need to know how to do this. It changes everything. One must be compelled to make changes, or they cannot. One can be negatively compelled, or one can be positively compelled. But compulsion is a necessary ingredient. Recognizing the potential will give you the ability to be positively compelled. And then when you start trying the things that we teach, your faith grows in the fact that we know what we're talking about, that what we offer is scientifically based, that it is mathematical, it's precise, it's as powerful as Newtonian law, as gravity, and then you're on your way. And we want you to have what we have, amazing marriage. So that's it. I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation, and I was a divorce mediator making lots and lots of money. This is better. I'm creating lots of good karma. Been around for over 20 years helping people just like you. And we want to help you too. Take a look at our testimonial page, our reviews. So God bless you and take care. Hope to see you again. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video. And we'll see you next time.